Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm so glad that we have diversity, especially diversity of thought. And also we have diversity in the countries, nations. I love that kind of diversity. I don't like imposed diversity. I like people to make their own choices. That tells me that they are sovereign, they're independent. In this case, we have India and Russia doing exactly that. They choose one another as partners. That means Al Capone failed, and obviously failed. Why? Because Al Capone has this style. You do what I tell you to do. If not, I will impose some sanctions on you, but I will give you a chance. And the first chance is I will start blaming you of something. And then you have to fix whatever I blame you of doing. And then if you don't do that, I will tell everyone that you are a bad dude. And then from there I will say, okay, I committed a little political and, character assassination on that country. And then I will start with my sanctions. And while I'm going to sanction you directly, I will tell all the other weasels on this planet that I can have power over to also impose sanctions on you. And when that happens, if you don't fall in line, then I will try a little spontaneous uprising, demonstrations. And if that doesn't work out, then I will try to create a little coup d'etat, a little invasion, okay? So this, as I just mentioned right now, is just the United States' diplomacy toolbox. This is the USA's diplomacy toolbox for the past. They used it for the past 32 years. That is since 1991, to be exact. Why? Because in 1991, the balance dropped, so no more diversity. We had a monopoly. And that was the time, the moment, when the United States of America was given the leadership, and it was a void. And it could have shown us the opportunity. It's like, for instance, in, let's say, in music or in soccer, in football. Sometimes, the goalkeeper, the main one, the guy who always is playing, unfortunately has a medical situation, breaks an arm or a shoulder or something. Then now that's your time to shine. That's the guy that is the reserve, and you put him in place. And if the reserve is going to do a great job, and he's going to try to do a great job, so he's going to take the other guy's place in the first team. The United States was given this by the circumstances of 1990, 1991. And what did the United States do? They said, okay, well, we're going to bring love, democracy, independence, freedom, and Pax Americana by invading bombarding Yugoslavia, illegally. Attacking and invading Iraq on a lie. The same with Afghanistan. Then bombarding and having a little bad thing in Libya. Then Syria. Then now Ukraine. This is and Middle East. What's going on right now in the Middle East? That's a response. That's a consequence of the good 30-year policy that United States of America, being the sole leader on this planet, screwed up. I personally don't want more of that. Why? You had your chance. So the guy had his chance. And what did he bring? Invasion after invasion under invasion. Did those invasions solve anything? No. Solved for the same interests that are fighting the Russians in Ukraine with Ukrainian nation and with our taxes. That is the same interest. So now we have India, and who was not following orders, said, you know what, we're going to do business with whomever we feel like because we're strong and independent. To mention the foreign minister, Dr. Jayshankar, a person that I like a lot. And here I have two VIPs that met, and these are these two guys. The one on the left is Dr. Jayshankar, the foreign minister, let's put it this way, of India, and the other one is Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister of the Russian Federation. Guess what? This is like you have Tom Jones and Elvis singing a duet. All right, this is kind of like this. Or I don't know, you have Pavarotti with, who should we use? Mario Lanza maybe? I don't know, I don't think Mario Lanza, but anyway, maybe Pavarotti with Pavarotti, a double concert in duet. Because in my assessment, I can't put anybody. Next to this guy. But anyway, that guy is gone. So we have these guys that are now getting closer. Jayshankar met Lavrov and I say our tie is getting stronger and tighter. The United States tried everything I told you, including the blaming you are this, you're not respecting that, you gotta not buy oil from Russia, should not do this with Russia. And India said, why? Europe did it for now. All of a sudden, Russia is bad. Why should we just hurt our own interest for you? And Al Capone was like, we can't attack these guys. How about we take the first tool, our diplomacy tool from our toolbox, which is threats. And they started saying, well, if you don't do this, we're going to have a little problem internationally. You are the bad dudes. Watch it. India said, nah. Blackmail. Well, if you do this, then we're going to do this. All right, we're going to do this, do that, otherwise we're going to do this. All kind of little threats and blackmails. And then they try to frame India as being a country who doesn't respect certain kind of religious rights. And then they got the Sikh incidents in Canada and the United States of America, and India did not budge. Said, you know what, fuck you. And these guys are like, the only thing that we got right now, they had some demonstrations as well against Modi and Jayshankar, obviously, because he's part of Modi's government, and said, you know what we're going to do? Probably we're going to try something like we did successfully in Pakistan with Imran Khan, the former prime minister, who did not want to follow orders, but he was, how do you call that? He did not pass he failed, was successful, a motion of no confidence vote in the parliament. So he was out, and now he's in jail like Trump will be when he's barred from being a candidate to run for the position of prime minister, like Trump will be, because Pakistan and the United States of America have the same level of democracy and society, right? I know my guys from America are like, ooh, and I'm going to say that, but I know how they think. Why? I had this conversation with many intellectuals here in the land of the free. All right, my friends. So now this guy meet. So let's see what they say. Bam, bam, bam. So this is from Sputnik. Lavrov, Jayshankar talks. Moscow and New Delhi to boost specially privileged ties. That means, guys, we are in the BRICS. We look for our interests. We're not excluding anyone because that's bad for business. We're not excluding anyone, but we don't like to be told what to do. India is too big. You. And the Al Capone was like, I don't think so. Too big. Too big, and the coalition, our coalition of the strong and courageous, usually works up to about 30 million people countries. Now this is 1.5 billion or so. Too big for us. That's why they don't attack Iran. That's the reason why. It's too big. And you got Russia in the back, looking over the fence. You up. And the coalition is afraid, obviously. They like weak subjects to beat. Sergei Lavrov praised Russia and India as reliable partners ahead of the negotiations, saying that their ties have repeatedly been confirmed in multilateral forums, such as the United Nations, the G20, BRICS, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Correct. So, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov sat down with his Indian counterpart, Subrahmanyam Jayshankar, he's a doctor, in Moscow on Tuesday to focus on an array of pressing issues related to bilateral cooperation. One of the topics discussed was the North-South transport corridor, of which Russia and India are members. When asked by Sputnik correspondent whether the corridor needs a second breath, Lavrov said he doesn't think so because this project, and I'm quoting, has already been revitalized. And I'm quoting, it attracts active attention from all the countries involved, and it will definitely be fomented soon, end quote. The Russian foreign minister added, separately pointing to an increasing economic clout of the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa group, and a diminishing role of the G20 G7 20s. Jayshankar said, I think our growing trade, investments, and military technical cooperation will give you a good sense of reality will give you a good sense of really the importance and the value that we attach to the relationship, the top Indian diplomat emphasized. Now, these guys are diplomats, okay? Separately, Jayshankar expressed hope that a meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi would take place next year, January 1st. I'm just kidding. The tradition of annual meetings between our leaders is something that we value very greatly. I'm very confident that we will see an annual summit next year, the top Indian diplomat said. Beautiful, Lavrov in turn told reporters that during the Wednesday talks, Moscow and New Delhi specifically confirmed their focus on strengthening cooperation in the energy sector. Excellent. Lavrov said that he had discussed the future of the Russian-India defense industry partnership, weapons, adding that, and I'm quoting, concrete forward movement was seen in cooperation between the two countries. Great, don't you think? And I know how happy the Americans, Al Capone is, and everybody else. India is an important partner of ours, so the ministry will talk about the bilateral contacts as we discuss them, Peskov said, referring to the upcoming meeting. So, they will meet right here. He says that Jayshankar is getting to maybe sit down with President Vladimir Putin. So Jayshankar is going to sit down with President Vladimir Putin, Dr. Jayshankar, on Wednesday evening, according to Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov. So, while these guys are distracting things, the other guys seem to be building, except attacking Ukraine unprovoked. Okay, I forgot that one. Well, my friends, here it is. India and Russia will continue their cooperation not only because of the Soviet Union support of India, whereas the free country, democratic countries were helping a military dictatorship in Pakistan. India did not forget that one. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.